fully enlightened. They became fully enlightened because they explored the entire field of mind and matter, transcended the entire field of mind and matter, and experienced something beyond that, the eternal truth, ultimate truth. They experienced the entire law of nature. They understood that whenever you divert your attention, it appears as if you have put aside your negativity, but actually you have suppressed your negativity. It has gone away from the surface level of the mind and is being pushed deep inside. At the surface level of the mind you feel, look, no, there is no anger or no hatred or no ill will or no passion or no fear, whatever negativity has come, it's gone now. But suppressed deep inside at the unconscious level or half conscious level, it keeps on rolling there and keeps on multiplying, multiplying, multiplying. You have not come out of your misery. Escape is no solution to the problem. And these enlightened people found out. Observe it. Observe it. Whenever any negativity arises, a passion arises, don't suppress and don't give it a free license to express itself at the vocal level or the physical level. Similarly, fear arises, anger arises, hatred arises, worry arises. Don't suppress it and don't give an express. Don't express it at the vocal level. They gave a middle path. Observe it. Anger is a reason. Observe it. Passion is a reason. Observe it. As you observe, you are not suppressing it. As you are just observing objectively, you are not expressing it. Just observing, and you find it becomes weaker, 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 and passes away. It has not become a problem. Your problem is solved because you are observing it. Very good solution, but very difficult to practice. Very difficult to practice. When a negativity arises, say anger as a reason, so quickly you get overpowered, overwhelmed, you can't observe. So difficult. Something which you can't observe. There is no solution. Then it's only theoretically all right, but you can't practice it. These enlightened people, when they gave any sermon or any advice, it was practical advice. They knew very well that when a negativity arises, it is so difficult for anyone to observe the negativity, abstract negativity as it is. But they realized mind and matter are so interrelated. As soon as a negativity arises in the mind, say anger is a reason, passion is a reason, fear is a reason, any impurity is a reason, two things start happening at the physical level. One at a little gross level, other at a little subtle level. At the gross level, your breath will lose its normality. When you have anger or passion or fear, breath can never remain normal. It will become little fast, little hard. When that particular impurity has gone away, again it will become normal. So something starts happening at the respiration level. And another thing at a subtler level, some biochemical reaction will start. Palpitation might become increased. Heat may be there. Perspiration may be there. Tension may be there. Something starts happening at the biochemical reaction of the body level. These two things, it is very difficult to observe anger as anger, abstract anger, passion as passion, abstract passion. But if one practices, it becomes easy to observe the respiration, to observe the sensation on the body. And this is what they started teaching, because it was very clear that for ordinary person, once one gets developed, then it becomes easy. Even abstract anger, abstract passion can be observed objectively, otherwise not. Even if you sit to meditate, you can't meditate. Anger as a reason. First important difficulty is, first important problem that comes is, you are so overpowered. You don't remember even that I should observe my respiration or my sensation or the anger. You just get overwhelmed with that. Then there must be somebody to remind you. You must have a private secretary around. Whenever anger comes, this private secretary must remind you, oh look master, anger is coming. And as Buddha said, you observe your anger, observe your anger. Private secretary will work for 8 hours only in the day. And I don't have agreement with the anger that you should come only when my private secretary is on duty. It can come any time in 24 hours. Any day in 365 days. So I must have 3 shifts, 3 private secretaries. Then every country have their own labor laws. You must give staggering holidays. So 4 private secretaries or 5 private secretaries. Who can afford? Right, somebody is afforded. there is always, every moment, a private secretary like a shadow, and anger is a reason. And this private secretary will say, oh, look, master, anger. Anger, come out of the anger, observe anger. The first thing I do, I slap him. You fool, are you here to teach me? I'm my own master, I know what to do. Anger is anger. All right, I have not behaved in the wrong way, and I thanked him. All right, you were kept for that purpose. You have advised me very good. Now I must observe my anger. How to observe anger? There is no shape of anger. There is no color of anger. You close your eyes and try to observe anger. What you will observe? Only the object of anger. So-and-so said like this, so-and-so did like this, something unwanted happened, wanted didn't happen, and that keeps on coming in your mind. You are not observing anger. You are observing the object of the anger. And that is the stimulation for your anger. Your anger becomes more and more. You are not observing anger. And that is why enlightened people said, observe your respiration. Observe sensation. Observing respiration, observing sensation, you are not diverting your attention to something else. Because this very sensation, this very respiration is like the other side of the coin. On the one side of the coin, you go to your mental negativity. On the other side, these physical things that are happening, your respiration becoming abnormal or your sensation on the body. So you are facing the problem. You are not running away from the problem. You are not suppressing the problem. A very wonderful solution was found. And for that one has to practice. No magic, no miracle. The old habit pattern of the mind was always give importance to things outside. Things outside. One never tried to understand what is happening inside. Vipassana helps you to see what is happening inside, which is more important than things happening outside. When all importance is given to things outside, then one always remains under the delusion that I am miserable because of things outside. I am miserable because so-and-so said like this or so-and-so did like this. All the cause of my misery I will keep on feeling is outside, outside, outside. A husband will say, if my wife changes a little, our house will become like a heaven, everything will be all right. She has to change a little. And ask the wife, she says the husband has to change a little. Little change in the husband, oh, wonderful. Father will say the son should change a little. Son will say the father should change a little. Mother-in-law will say the son-in-law should change. The daughter-in-law should change. And the daughter-in-law, son-in-law will say the mother-in-law should change. Everyone else should change, not I. I am perfectly all right. What's wrong in me? Because you find fault only outside, outside. You always find the cause of your misery outside, outside. So all your energy, all your strength throughout the life is used to rectify things outside, to correct things outside. Nothing wrong. But big mistake that you are forgetting everything about yourself, what is happening inside. Your energy goes waste. First thing is that it is so difficult to change others. You have no control over others. How can you change others? Even if someone becomes the sole ruler of the whole world, so much power, yet it is not possible that in this person's life everything will happen according to his or her wishes. Nothing will go against his or her wishes. Not possible. Even with all the power, one tries to correct somebody, amend somebody. Where is the guarantee that somebody else will not raise the head and start doing something against your wishes? Impossible. You can't change the whole world, but you can certainly change yourself. Certainly change yourself.